Well, here I am. So today's session is going to be easy for anybody to do. We just need to move a little bit. And as long as you're moving consciously, just a little bit at a time, you're definitely still doing yoga. So I'm in my living room. I've moved a few things aside. It really doesn't take much space. My yoga mat, like most of them, are just about 6 feet long, and you might need 3, 4 feet. So 6 by 4 is enough to do some yoga. Find that little space. You can almost do it even in a hallway. And I'm going to back up and bring myself onto this beautiful rug and this yoga mat on top of the rug. So we're just going to start with some very simple warm-up stretches. This is not a way to sit for some people with bad knees. So what we can do is just bring your legs forward. And in case you didn't see my intro video, I'm Helene Couvrette, a certified yoga therapist. I also am a teacher trainer. I give courses on 200, 300-hour, and 800-hour yoga therapy. And my website is www.homyogacenter.com. So you can find me there. I'm available for privates online in a way that's easy for you, Zoom, Facebook chat, or even just FaceTime on your phone during this time. So I'm going to ask you to find a way to sit. Now, not all of you can sit that easily cross-legged. You might end up looking like this. And if that's the case, grab a pillow, which I'm going to do. And it could just be a nice, pillow of any kind. This is not a very thick one, but just bring yourself up on it. And that really helps for the legs to feel more comfortable. And then you don't have to struggle to sit tall. So that's the first thing. Don't struggle for trying to get to a posture. Know that it doesn't have to be that you look like all the images, or even myself, that you are just trying to move your body where its comfortable limit is. And any movement that you do, any stretch that you do, any ability to hold a strength for a certain amount of time, that is just your limit, is still just working and keeping improving. So we're not trying to push, we're not trying to force, we're just trying to move the body consciously and do the best we can with that. And safely is important. So I focus more on cues to help align the body so that you're not straining joints and overworking muscles that are not best designed to do what the shape is asking you to do. So first we're going to center and just watch our breath for a few moments. So go ahead and close your eyes and just start to notice how you're breathing. And as you breathe, see that as soon as you pay attention, the breath tends to naturally slow down. And this is important because we want to enter our yoga practice with some calm, with calm muscles and calm mind. And if you're not feeling calm, just watch the breath for a few moments. That's what I call a sighing breath. So just let a few sighs go out. Really focus on the exhale. This will start to stimulate the calm part of your nervous system, which is the parasympathetic. It's the rest and digest. So just lengthen your exhale. And you may not sound as loud as I am, but don't be shy. You're in your home alone or with people who love you watching and listening or joining. So just really focus on letting that exhale become longer. And I'm going to close my mouth now. There's still this contraction at my throat to create that sound. So when I blow out or exhale, it's not really blowing out my nose that much. There's a contraction at the throat, and this sort of contains the energy, or if you want, it just sort of integrates my body a little bit more in a stable way. And we're just going to keep doing that for another moment. And although I'm doing it loud, I'm going to start to slow it down and make it softer and smoother. And keep the focus on your exhale. Don't worry about the inhale, it will come in. Just focus on the exhale. Now what we're going to ask you to do is just drop your head straight down. But notice that your spine might be tempted to round, so keep your spine tall. Just let the head drop. There's no pushing, there's no forcing. Let the shoulders be relaxed. And it helps to bring the hands beside you. Just letting the arms be heavy, like your sleeves of a jacket and you've taken the arms out of the jacket.
Just notice whatever sensations you feel at the back of the neck. And bring your mind to them and let it just soften. Just even saying the words release, soften, let go will have an effect. We do talk to the muscles in our body. They talk to us too. So right now, tell them to relax. And as you keep exhaling, notice if your head goes further without you needing to do anything. This is the muscles starting to trust and release and let go more. And then bring your head back to neutral. So we're not trying to work at these postures, we're just trying to get out of the way of any tension that might be there and giving it time. So we're going to do that again. Just drop your head down center, keep your heart up, and let the shoulders be heavy and the head be heavy. And exhale, sending messages through your breath, through your mind, to release whatever muscles might be holding back there. Now very gently bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, sort of just doing a quarter circle. And then hang out that right ear over that shoulder and feel the stretch down the side of the neck, and continue to talk to that muscular body of yours and tell it to relax. Use the exhale. So as I exhale, I'm going, my mind is saying relax, let go, soften. And I'm going to come slowly back down to center, and I'm going to bring it slowly back up to the left side. And I'm doing it slowly so I stay conscious and connected to my body. Relax that right side. If it looks the opposite because you're staring at me, just don't worry about what side you're on. So again, the inhale, notice what happens in the body's sensation as you breathe in. And on the exhale, notice how it feels. All the sensations are different when you inhale and exhale. You might not notice, and that's okay. Just be present. And you're going to come slowly back down to center, slowly back up to this side. And exhale there. Now take a breath in here. And exhale down to center. And inhale up to the other side. And exhale back down to center. And inhale up to the other side. Let's exhale here. Inhale here. And exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale here. Inhale here. And exhale down. Then inhale back to neutral. And just take a moment to see how just that feels. Now I hold a lot of tension there. That's my tension space. And some of us hold it in our back, some of us hold it more in the shoulder, some in the hips. So just notice how you're feeling for a moment. Now I'm just going to breathe with these movements. I'm going to inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, drop them. Inhale up, drop them. Slow it down. Even slower and softer. One more time, slower and softer. All right, and just stay with that. So it's different sensation when you move it up and down, then slow, and then slower, and then slower. So just notice that. Finding different ways to move helps you find different options for what you need at any given moment. Maybe you like to go up and down really fast. Sometimes that's where our energy is. If you've got a lot of energy inside, anxiety or stress, you might need to do that with me. All right, let that go. Now you might get dizzy with all that breathing. So know that that's normal. Give it a few moments. Now let's do it softer. And let that go. So you see the same movements done very differently give a different sensation. So now you have those two different options to do. We can also hug the shoulder blades together and release them. And you might decide to go faster than me. Inhale them together. Exhale them apart. You might decide to go slower than me. And think of the shoulder blades moving towards each other, near the bottom of the shoulder blades. Hug down near the bottom of them. Do whatever speed you feel is right. Just know that those shoulder blades are not glued to your spine, and they're not glued to your rib cage. They have a great ability to move. Maybe you haven't used that ability. And then release that go and just settle down and start to maybe do a few circles. So I'm going up, back, and down. And I don't really prefer going up and forward. That kind of rounds our whole spine forward and compresses the chest. But go ahead and try and notice what that offers you. I just prefer opening up, back, and down. And my focus is on shoulder blades, not shoulders only, like this part of the shoulder. But I feel the shoulder blades lift and move back and down. So I'm really slowing this down and being aware. And then I'm going to sit for another few breaths and just notice how that feels. Just already in the neck, the shoulders, the jaw should be relaxed, so your teeth should not be touching at all. And I'm going to go back to find the rhythm of my breath. So this is going to be a shoulder type class today, and if you have tight shoulder, hopefully this will really help release. Now sometimes the neck and shoulders are very connected, so let's work the neck as well, and sometimes I need a little extra help. So we're going to do this little practice where you're going to take one hand on one side, really doesn't matter which. Tip your head into the hand, and now push the head very gently into the hand. I'm only doing this about 5% of my strength, and I'm going to make sure this shoulder is relaxed. And I'm not doing it tensely. I'm watching my breath, still smooth. All right, and I'm slowly going to let that go. And that might offer you a very kind of weird feeling. And that's just sort of releasing some tension by actually stretching and activating a muscle group. You don't need to know much of that. Just try and experience it. So next I'm going to take my hand on this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to push gently, making sure the shoulders relax so it's not up to my ear. That I'm dropping that shoulder, and I'm going to push my head just a little into the hand. It doesn't take much, but I'm going to stay there for a few breaths. And release. Now I'm breathing a little louder than I would invite you to. I just want to make sure you can kind of hear. So I'm just going to let that settle. Again, I'm getting this kind of fuzzy kind of feeling. Just notice how you feel. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers, I'm going to rest my 3 first fingers and in my forehead. So I want to make it even is why I'm doing 2 hands instead of 1. I want to make sure my shoulders are dropped. I'm going to tip my head a bit forward and gently press my hands and my head into each other. Again, it's only maybe 5% of the strength you have. This is not about full force at all. It's more about hanging out there. So I hope you're breathing calmly as you're doing it, and I'm talking you through it. And I'm going to take a couple breaths. And then I'm going to release that. Ooh, and the head's kind of feeling nice. It's a little glass of wine in a breath practice with neck and hands. It kind of gives you a little buzz is what I feel. Last, I'm going to go to bring my hands behind my head. And I'm going to gently tip my head a little up, not too much. And I'm going to press my hands in my head and my head in my hands, taking care of my shoulders. And just hang out there as I breathe, feeling my heart open. Make sure you do this ever so lightly so you're not straining at all. Just waking up muscles very softly by pushing head and hands together. And then I'm going to let that go. All right, now I'm just going to bobble my head. You know those little dashboard figurines we had years ago, or am I dating myself? Little bobblehead, just little circles. If I had a paintbrush, I would be painting very tiny circles above me. I don't want the neck bones or the cervical spine to be moving, just the skull on top of it. Just notice how you feel. And then go ahead and roll the shoulders again and just take note how that feels. All right. Now the next thing you can do is turn my palms up and lift my arms up and let my chest go up as well. But kind of let the shoulders and the shoulder blades just slide down. Don't pull them down, but make sure you're not pulling them upward either. Just let them relax with gravity wherever they do land. And lift your heart and look up and bring the hands down. So I'm going to lift my palms up, sort of side or front of me or somewhere in between. I'm going to lift my chest as well. And I don't want to lift my chin too much. My head's going back because my chest is lifting, and I'll turn sideways so you can see that. So I'm up and my chest goes up. And I'm going to come down. All right. So that helps just loosen up this whole neck and shoulder area. And then I'm going to just take my body and twist it. And as I do that, I'm going to relax the shoulders, hold the twist, and be here. I'm going to keep that breath going, focusing on the exhale, focusing on making sure I'm not stressing any of the muscles as I turn. And I'm going to turn my head forward and then turn my head back. Inhale it forward, exhale it back. Inhale it forward. You're moving slowly, exhale it back. Making sure that front shoulder is not up, that it's just relaxed downward. One more time, inhale forward. And then let the body come forward. Now we're going to turn to the right. And I'm going to turn my head back first. Relax that front shoulder and the back one. Get the stretch, let it settle. Then I'll turn my head forward and turn my head back. Use your breath to time this calmly and slowly. Inhale forward, exhale back. See if you can be a little slower and a little softer in any energy that you're using. Inhale forward and exhale back. All right, and then come back to settle and just notice how you feel. I'm going to bring my arms in front of me. And if for some reason by now you're not comfortable on the ground, use a chair. You could have used a chair through this whole time. I should have said that at the beginning, but here I am saying it now. You could stand as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right arm as far as I can back, make sure the shoulders are relaxed, and I'm going to bring it forward again. Then I'm going to take the arm back. Now I'm going to exhale looking back. Inhale looking forward. Exhale looking back. Inhale looking forward. And then bring the arm back. Now if you mix up exhale, inhale, and the direction, doesn't really matter. Don't get too caught up in all of it. Right? Don't create stress while you're trying to release stress. So come back here. On this side, I'm going to inhale the arm back. Breathe out. Relax. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm going to inhale, go back. Exhale, go forward. I did the opposite on the other side. See how you feel. So try both. Inhale here. Exhale back. Inhale here. Exhale forward. Or just do it by breath. Inhale. Exhale. Or inhale here. And exhale back. And then inhale it all the way back. So again, don't get caught up in where you're inhaling and exhale too much. Just experience will help you. So try inhaling one way and then try the exhale in that direction next time. Just notice how it makes you feel.
As long as you're conscious with your breath and your body and your movement, you're doing yoga. So we're trying to unite our mind, our body, our breath. And that's really what yoga is about, not just doing these movements. And then, of course, mindfully being aware how you feel with all that. How are your shoulders feeling? All right. So now we're going to do another movement. We're going to, again, take the arms up. You're going to take the right arm back, and you're going to keep your head looking back, but move your eyes back and forth. So I'm going to take my arm out. I'm going to move my eyes to the left and my eyes to the right. My eyes to the left and my eyes to the right. And then I'm going to bring it all back. Take a breath. Now I'm going to do the same with the other side. I'm going to take my arm out. I'm going to look back, and I'm going to take my eyes to the right, my eyes to the left, my eyes to the right, my eyes to the left. And I'm going to bring it back. And just notice how that feels. Our eyes, the back of our neck, our shoulders, our arms are all connected. So how about you take your fists and do a tight fist and watch your breath. Notice what it's like to breathe with your fists really tight. See our hands, our arms, everything is connected. Without giving you a whole anatomy lesson, just experience this. Now relax your hands and notice what happens to your breath. So if you're someone that's often tight with their hands, a lot of times anxiety and stress makes us do all kinds of stuff with our hands because our body expresses our emotions. And if you're one of those people and you don't even know it maybe, start to notice what your hands are doing. Maybe it's the jaw. So go ahead and tighten your teeth. You don't have to be even that tight. Just touch the teeth together and notice how it affects your breath. Right? And then release the teeth and notice how that affects your breath. Very subtle things we do unconsciously can really affect our muscle tension and our breath. And when we have muscle tension, our breath is affected. When our breath is affected, our muscle tension. So it's all connected. So we're just trying to release that. So now do circles and see how you feel with all of that. Right? Now I'm going to do another video which will be more focused on other areas of the body. I'll do a series of them just to have this experience. And if you have any issues in certain areas, again, I'm available to see this way privately, so you can just contact me. My email is h-om@homyogacenter.com. Helene Couvrette's my name from the Home Yoga Center, and I'm a yoga educator. I am Pain Yoga certified. I've studied extensively over 1,000 hours. I've been teaching over 10,000 hours. But just take this simple little practice now and see where it's brought you. Just to go on and give you a little taste, sometimes if you clench more in your lower region, just notice how that feels with your breath. Just get a taste of another area for a moment. So go ahead and clench your pelvic floor like you're kind of scooping your sit bones forward, your tailbone tucks underneath. Notice how that feels and notice where your breath goes. Now, if you're a belly clencher or tight buttocks clencher, just notice that this very subtleness can change a lot. Now relax completely. And notice how that feels. So there's very different ways, very different people out there. We all hold our tension differently. And this was just a little session to help you realize a little bit of how that totally affects you, and also hopefully help release all the muscle tension in the neck, jaw, and shoulder area. So I'm going to end this one here, but I'm going to do another one for hips next. And I hope that I will see you there and that somehow you enjoyed this. And you have a wonderful day if you don't come back for the next one. See you soon.